You heard what Clark Kent said about Tupac?
Yep, I saw it.
For the people that didn't hear it, Blake, play that video.
Biggie's dead because Pac lied. You know what I'm saying? If he doesn't lie, we don't have an East Coast, West Coast beef. We don't have, like, he's dead because he lied.
Give me the lie.
He said that Biggie set him up. Mm-hmm. You know Biggie didn't set you up. You know he didn't set you up. You know that he didn't know you was coming to the studio. Mm-hmm. You know that. Why would you say that? You know, you're 1,000% sure. Why would you say that? That is the reason why they took our mans from us. Because one lie.
Do you think it was a lie or a misunderstanding?
No, it was a lie. And he knew it had nothing to do with Biggie, 1,000%.
Then why do you think he said that?
Because he didn't want to say what really happened. How about that?
What you think about them comments?
I mean, Clark Kent, right? He right in certain things. I mean, Pocket angered people he was around at that time. And I think Pocket got himself emotionally involved and attached with things that he shouldn't have really messed with. You know what I mean? So I can kind of see what, OG saying, like, man, you know that shit had something to do with you and somebody else and some other folk. I mean, that man, you only would have came to the studio, with your pistols and everything on you, unless you thought the people you were going to see, if it was any beef, you had to protect yourself, right? So you wasn't going to the studio with Big them. They just happened to be in the studio, in another studio at the time you came, which was, during the times that we were recording back then, right there after 5, 6 o'clock, everybody head to the studio, get the recording around 10, 11, after everybody just get settled in. So, me being that I've been to the studio and understand how you got in, got out, where he got hit at, you know what I mean? Like, Big didn't have nothing to do with that. You know what I mean? And then if you kind of listen to Lil C's and a lot of his older interviews, like he kind of caught Pac them walking up the street and he was speaking to them from up top, out of the building. So, if it was any beef between them and them per se, I think C's would have had enough, understanding to know it was beef and to let them know that there's something going on. You know what I mean? But it wasn't for them because you were coming to see Lil Sean them. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's the people that Pac was hanging around, and it's everything that was going on at the time. It was just being magnified where he felt like he had to have a pistol anyway because of the people he was fucking with and the things, that was going on around him. So, I just think that that is where I think if somebody would have just, yo, man, call over there, make sure Pac know we ain't got shit to do with that. But he can't, because they know that they got a real OG that's in the middle of this, that knows everybody, and they can't they can't really get involved because that ain't their business. So it's like, it's a sticky situation because it's street shit. That shit go past rapping and song and dance, you know what I mean? Go past that. So
hold up, y'all. No, Biggie was about to get into it more when it comes on to the conversation where Biggie was being blamed for the incident at the studio where Tupac got shot. So I seriously need you guys to really listen to what he has to say, because I remember people saying that Tupac said that, he isn't saying Biggie set him up, but Biggie was saying that he was the king of New York, so he should have known who set him up. But then comes the other topic of snitching. So it's a very, very, very messy situation. So I seriously need you guys to listen to what Big Gipp has to say and let me know if you guys agree or you disagree. So once again, watch the full interview. Watch it fully, listen thoroughly. Remember to drop a like, my people, drop a like and subscribe, because it has been so many years that have been passed, but this conversation continues to stay afloat. So once again, watch the full interview. I'ma shut up and stop talking. Check it out.
That's the place where I'm going to say, I wish that they had just spoken. I think that shit would have stopped a lot of that. It would have stopped that after that. If some kind of way he could have got the Big or Pac could have got the to Big, I just think that if he would have just at least had the conversation like, my name ain't you, is it? Nah, that ain't me, man. I mean, we ain't had nothing to do with that. We just kicking the Willy Bowo. You know, I think he would have took it like, oh, okay, cool. I know what my target is. But I think along with the shit going on between Puff and Suge, I just think it was, bro, that shit was agitated that way. You know what I mean? It was agitated that way to make it be a problem between two guys that was becoming the shit. And this was a way for everybody to get paid, the magazines to get in here, start writing wild ass stories, because at the end of the day, when you really look at it, you gotta really put it on the motherfucking magazines that start drama, to just putting gas on all that shit. When Pac couldn't talk and was in jail, it's still stories being wrote, it's still this, and once the shit happened, it's still stories and people throwing gas on it. So I'm just saying that once the higher ups felt like this was a money play, they kept the gas on it. And at the end of the day, you know it was fucked up, because at the end of the day, what was the casualty of it all? Vibe magazine. I mean, you know what I mean?
But I think one thing that people get confused, man, is Pac saying that Biggie set him up. He never said that.
The song dropping. Who shot you?
Yeah, that too.
That's what put the whole shit on it. Like it was almost like, okay, did they have something to do with it? They didn't have something to do with it. Then all of a sudden in the middle of the night, no Biggie Smalls, who shot you? And it's like, well, shit. The streets like, well, shit, I guess so, man. Like, there might be some shit in there. Shit getting gangster.
And Puffy, he decided to drop that.
Come on, bro. So, like, you didn't run away from it. You didn't go anywhere else. You went right there with it. Now, whether you thought it was just gonna stay some MCs battling on records, it didn't stay there. That shit went to death for both parties. So think about it. As much as some people can say, hey man, it's your fault, other people can say, well shit, it's y'all fault a little bit too, because if you ain't had nothing to do with it, why you dropped that record? It seemed like you wanted to eat off that shit a little bit. You wanted to eat off of it a little bit, and that shit became all your problem. So that's all I'm saying. I'm saying, let's be honest. Like let's be honest about the shit, bro. Like, it was hip hop at the time. Everybody was on their grimy shit, and shit. Shawty was shot up in the hospital. I mean, shit. You know what I mean? We know the streets. We know the streets. Just like if somebody get hit in Atlanta, we can make a call. We know who did it, who got hit. Man, possibly everybody in New York knew who did that shit. They been knew who did. So that's the real shit. Knowing that y'all knew who did it. Everybody can actually say who did it. But then again, if Pac calling around saying, yo, who did it, I ain't getting no answer. Okay, then you did it.
Bingo, bingo, bingo. I was just about to say that, because that's where people get confused. Tupac never said that Biggie set him up. His only issue with Biggie was why you didn't warn him or tell him who did it.
It wasn't nothing to warn. It wasn't nothing for Big to warn, because Big ain't had nothing but you getting your ass in these situations with these other people. You know these people you with them true and living gangsters over there, man. We know them guys. Just like I know them guys. Them niggas.
He wanted Biggie to tell him who did it though.
Yeah, but hey, man, hey, man. Hey, that's just like, hey, man got hit next to me. Hey, get who did that, bruh. Like, unless it's some reason why I should tell you this, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Because maybe that man that did something that got him in this situation. But then once I inject myself in who I saw and what pistol they had, man, you just as much in it. Was you in it or was you on this side? Did you help set it up? Or you ain't trying to get no information up on who you saw and what you heard. So you still got to look that a lot of things were crazy that night. You still got pistols all over the place. You know what I mean? A lot of people scared. The police showing up. You know what I mean?
Man, I just know that Diddy was the one who was like, listen, man, we gonna drop this record, Who Shot You, because Tupac just got shot and we gonna make crazy money off it. I'm just sitting here imagining Diddy jumping up and just going crazy and be like, yeah, we gonna drop this right now, man. Now, the thing is, I don't know, or we don't know if Biggie agreed. Well, one person can say, well, he must have agreed for the record to be dropped, but then again, he signed to the label and probably is obligated to certain stuff. I'm not sure, right? But the record did drop and everyone went crazy and everyone was like, well, they dropped the record, they must know who did it, right? And the situation, as you guys heard, and I said before, that Tupac wasn't really blaming Biggie. He was mad that Biggie wasn't telling him who. Because he was like, you're the king of New York and all of that. You must knew who shot me. But you ain't telling me nothing, right? But Biggie is making it clear that Biggie didn't want to inject himself in that situation because he didn't have to, right? Because remember, there were some tensions before between him and Tupac, and it's not like him and Tupac was probably on the best of best relationship at the time, right? For me, I'm like, man, Tupac's your friend and all of that. You should have told him, right? But then the topic of snitching, injecting yourself, bringing yourself in a situation and possibly getting caught up in that. So Biggie was like, nah, I don't know. But the whole place, everybody believed that Biggie knew who shot Tupac. I believe that, man. Word must have gotten back to Biggie that who did it. I believe that, man. Nobody can tell me that Biggie didn't know. So that's where Tupac was really mad at it, and that situation really made the beef go crazy, man. Really made the beef go crazy, especially when they dropped Who Shot You. As I said, man, I know for a fact Diddy was the one who came up with that idea. I can't be wrong. That's contradicting for me saying I know for a fact, but I'm really just exaggerating, man. But it could have been Biggie. It could have been someone else in the crew that gave them the idea, but I definitely believe Diddy was siding with it 100%, man. I'm not sure about Biggie, but it's crazy, man. Really crazy, man. How that one situation really increased the tension so much. Really. And Big Gip, I ain't gonna tell no lie, he's making a lot of sense. I gotta give him credit for that, man. He's making a lot of sense. I want you guys to let me know what you think. Do you think Biggie should have told him? Because what I know for a fact, without exaggerating, as I said, Biggie knew who shot Tupac. Nobody can tell me otherwise. Biggie knew who shot Tupac, man. So do you guys believe or think that Biggie should have told Tupac? And also where Biggie made it clear that if they could have just talked, just talked it out and all of that, things might have went better. And that didn't happen, obviously. And that's something I say that I believe they had love for each other, but it didn't work out. No, when it comes on to Biggie and Suge Knight using all of these situations for a beneficial gain, I'm going to talk about that later. I want you guys to check out the rest of the interview and let me know your thoughts and perspective. Let me know your thoughts and perspective. Drop a like, my people. Drop a like and subscribe.
But the entertainment part of it. Now, if you ain't want to be a part of it, you ain't want to be in it in no kind of way, I don't think Who Shot You would have been the greatest picker I would have picked from it to get. But I think everybody wanted to get a little involved in the situation and put a little more mystique on their names. And the record did do exactly what it was supposed to do. It woke the streets up. It put a mystique on Big, it put a mystique on Bad Boy, and it made shit a little more gangster. I mean, it is what it is. You could say, hey man, Big here called Pot Live. Hey man, that go both ways. Cause at the same time, you ain't had to play that record. You ain't had to go that route. You could have went another route. But since we know that at that time in the roaring 90s, it was all about who got the biggest crew, who got the strongest crew, and who got the best music. Come on, man. That woke New York. Then they should say, well, shit, why did that record get played so many times a day on the radio in New York City if it wasn't that shit then? If that wasn't where we were going, if that's what we wasn't trying to, if that's what we weren't trying to be affiliated with, we affiliated ourselves all with that shit once we came like that. Cause down in the South, I'm sure in the West, when you came with Who Shot You, that shit was some gangster shit. That was New York gangster. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. It's like how you look at it. Cause I'm sure if you sit on the West Coast, you're like, oh, Pac gotta respond, baby. He gotta respond. And if you really look at it, bro, just go and listen to Me Against the World. That was that whole album was about that shit. So you gotta look at, to me personally, it cooled off and all that. Once he went to jail, it was just y'all and his Me Against the World album. But when he came back home, man, like, he settled the score. So, I don't know. You know what I mean? I look at both parties like, man, somebody should have said, everybody chill. Let's call this man, have a conversation, at least have a one-on-one conversation before this shit go any further. And I don't think nobody did that. I know that nobody do that. Everybody was gloating in the attention they were getting from the things they was doing to antagonize the situation. So what did you get at the end of the situation? Both men did.
Well, speaking of Tupac, Big Gift did an interview. He said that if Tupac were alive, he'd be with Beyonce instead of Jay-Z.
Of course.
Yeah?
He didn't lie. Tupac had all the bad bitches.
Tupac
Nigga,
had all.
if Tupac was here, he would have the baddest bitch. Everybody know that. Tupac had all the bad bitches. Why you think we idolize him like this? I won't be like Pac. I won't be in movies like Pac. You know? Everything around me was a thug. Like, everything around me was thug. Nigga, this was motivation, bro. Speak up for all black people. Pac was everything. He had all the bad bitches. He would have had the bad bitch.
Madonna. He had.
It goes on and on.
I mean, Faith Evans, of course. There's that whole thing. There's, Quincy Jones's daughter, Kadada. Yeah, man. Pac. Oh, I mean, Pac was the biggest sex symbol in hip hop. I think probably of all time.
Yeah,
if you think about it, who's a bigger sex symbol in hip hop on the male side than Tupac?
No one.
No one.
No one. No one.
And if you look at all the successful rappers after him, like Ja Rule, 50 Cent, they try to emulate what he was doing with the tattoos and the shirt off. But you know, even T.I., remember T.I. dressed up like Tupac and he just couldn't really pull off the.
No one can.
Like seeing T.I. dressed like Tupac in that one iconic photo, I think it was a New York Times magazine. It was like, you could tell, like, damn, like Pac had the sense of style that no one else could emulate. You know, you could put on Pac's clothes, but it's not gonna look right on you.
Pac was a different star.
Yeah.
You know, when a lot of people was music stars back then. Pac was a different star. He was a
superstar.
He was a different animal. You can be married, your bitch still won't pop. You know, Pac really could have everybody bitch. So he was holding back, bro. Like Pac was that nigga, bro. Like Pac was, you know, Pac was every bad dream back then.
I mean, look, Will Smith's still mad about Jada Pinkett hanging out with Tupac. That's probably why he slapped Chris Rock.
Yeah,
it's probably
man,
over
like,
that shit,
bro. Like Pac was, bro.
Yeah,
and it seemed like he was being real with him at the same time.
Yeah,
because every woman who come on and talk about him, they be like, he was, baby. I'm just, hey, this nigga like me. Hey, just hey, look, enjoy the ride. Like,
enjoy the ride.
Hey, you fuck. Yeah. I'm just out here. That's how I was without him. Bitch, I'm out here.
Now, before I touch on the, situation where the public believes that Tupac would have dated or been with Beyonce, when it comes down to the entertainment part, where it contains Biggie and Tupac, as I said earlier, and as Big Gibb said earlier, the producers on and all of that. Not only the producers, but like the whole team from both sides, they were basically capitalizing on this event. But at first, obviously, it was Bad Boy with Who Shot You and all of that, right? And then with Diddy and Suge Knight. And it's something that is even happening to this day. When an enemy or someone that is known you don't like or whatever, you guys have beef, something happened, sometimes you will find that person to drop a song or with some subliminal disses or whatever. So it's part of the game, to be honest. But why it really sting with Tupac and Biggie was because Tupac and Biggie, right? And a lot of people thought that Biggie would have, played it cool to stay out of the light, stay chill. But when you look, Who Shot You was released and the whole streets waked up, man. And it was war. It was more tension, and it was just different from that moment on, right? After Tupac went to jail and got released, y'all know the rest. He came and settled the score. Matter of fact, he came and won, right? I don't believe there's no going around that, man. Like, hit him up, man. Like, come on, bro. Like, let's talk facts, man. Let's talk facts. Now, when it comes on to Tupac dating Beyonce, honestly, that would not be surprising, man. Because as the world knows, Tupac was knocking down bad bees. There's no going around that, man. And they knew that he wasn't going to be faithful to them. But because of his image, because of his status, because it's Tupac, they didn't care. And that's crazy, man. That goes to show the mindset of a lot of these ladies. That's why sometimes they're the one to blame, man. Because a lot of times they be knowing that these ninjas are up to no good when it comes on to being loyal. But guess what? They still gonna give it up. A lot of them, I believe, they think that they would have the chance to change the person. It's crazy, man. But as I said, a lot of the females, not just any females, actresses, celebrities, a lot of them wanted to give it up to Tupac. Like, there's no going around that, man. So Beyonce, I don't think she would have been any different, man. Like, I swear to God, no disrespect. Jay-Z, do not send anybody for me, man. I'm just giving my opinion, man. Right? I don't see Beyonce escaping that, man. I swear to God, I don't see her escaping Tupac. You know the situation with Faith Evans already. I'm not even going to get into that. So my whole point is, I wouldn't be surprised, and I definitely think that could have been possible, right? I'm not sure if Beyonce would have been the one to change him. I don't know, man. Probably the only thing could have changed Tupac was time, man. Like, I don't think Tupac would have been faithful to any woman, man. I swear to God, man, because that's just the man he was, right? That's just the man he was. But I want you guys to let me know your thoughts on perspective. Let me know what y'all seriously think about all of this situation with the Biggie and the Tupac. If Biggie should have told Tupac who did it, because Biggie definitely know who did it. And let me know your thoughts down in the comment section, man. Let me know what you guys honestly believe. Remember to drop a like and subscribe, show some love. Drop a like and subscribe, show some love, man. I want to say thank you for your time. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as usual, I'm out.